Such a brilliant spokesman for Wolves, isn't he, Conor Cody? And we join in. We all keep our fingers crossed, hope and pray that Raul Jimenez comes through this okay. And David Lewis as well, who, of course, was withdrawn at half-time. How impressive, Roy, were Wolves tonight?
They were excellent after, obviously, a huge disappointment, the shock of, obviously, the bad injury. They recovered well, played some really good football, scored a couple of excellent goals. We spoke before the game about Cody dealing, playing in the back four. He was excellent once again, showed great leadership skills. And a big win for Wolves. But again, there's a softness to Arsenal now. You know, I think they're lacking a little bit of confidence, lack of goals. But a huge result for Wolves.
We'll come on to Arsenal. Let's continue on the track of a positive Wolves story, particularly around one or two players who I suppose have been talked about as potential successors to Diogo Jota at the top of the pitch. What about Pedro Neto's performance?
Yeah, very direct, very good. Good left foot he scores here with his right. But he brings some pace and some urgency to the game. Good cross from Traore here, but he's lively, Neto, and yeah, good goal. But in the game, he was always dangerous. There was always a threat coming off him. Not afraid to take players on, and to bring his whole team to that final third. He had a very good day today. And it was not easy for Arsenal to play against him.
Do you think the fact that there is an extra attacking player at the top of the pitch does help people like Neto and Podence, who will come on to you as well?
Well, it has done in the last couple of weeks. I think their mindset seems to be different. I've not necessarily enjoyed watching Wolves the last few months, but I thought today they were excellent, forward, more thinking, they were passing it forward quicker, great movement, some great play. Probably should have scored some more goals. No, I can't praise them enough. I thought they were excellent. They've obviously changed tactics from the last week or two. The second goal tonight was as good as you're going to see in European football. I thought it was fantastic, a great finish. Again, we're talking about some playing out from the back. Again, okay, you could say a poor defender from Arsenal, but no, you're in trouble here. Neto again, outstanding. Again, can you close him down? Excellent shot. Keeper should do better. This bit of skill. If we saw Messi or somebody doing that, unbelievable. What a goal.
Jimmy, what's hard about that? He makes it look very easy.
He makes it looks very easy, but he stays so calm, and that is the hard thing about it. A lot of players would have just had a shot, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He could have gone down for the penalty. He didn't. He was always in control. He was a pain in the backside today for Arsenal. He was getting into pockets, getting on the ball, playing forward. Here again, sharp on the ball, taking players on, holding look really bad here. Great block from Bellerin, but he was really positive. He was just really positive, this boy today. And I say it again, what a goal! What a goal! Hop.
But credit to the manager. You know, they've had a system for the last 3 years. He's obviously looked at it where they've just not been able to get up and running this season. They've been playing okay, but it's been more about ball retention, team shape. Yeah. Whereas the last week, or certainly tonight, it was about, can we do things a bit quicker, pass it forward, get more runners, and they got their just rewards.
And Wolves into the top six, and when we come back, we'll get the reaction of their manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, and hopefully get more updates as well on the condition this evening of Raul Jimenez. Wolves' first win at Arsenal since 1979. Nuno Espirito Santo is talking to Patrick Davison.
Well, Nuno, magnificent performance from your team, but I think we have to start with the health of Raul Jimenez. Yeah. What can you tell us about how he is?
He's doing a scan now, but his conscience is okay inside the gravity of the problem, of course.
When he went down, did you know straight away that it was something very serious?
Yeah, by the reaction of the teammates, of everybody. You start hearing codes red. When they say it's red, it's because it's serious, and it is serious. And it was a bad moment for everybody, both teams, both players, the players of Arsenal worrying about him. And we wish him everything to be okay, but now we are worried, of course.
I think as non-experts, the first thing you look to is like the faces of the doctors and the physios and the medical staff. And actually, did their faces make you more concerned?
Yeah.
They seemed quite shaken up.
Yeah, exactly that. You see the panic in their eyes, and you start thinking, how is he? And we are worried.
Can we now sort of move on from the very worst thoughts? What the real concern when he's lying on the floor motionless? It seems like he's starting to recover, and the news is improving on Raul.
Yeah. For everybody that's listening to me now, he speaks, he's aware, but he's doing a scan, and now we have to have a proper assessment. But he's in good hands.
What about the reaction from your players after that then, Nuno? Seeing that, suffering that, and going on to play as they did, how much credit do you give them for that?
Amazing. I'm very proud today, very proud. I'm always him, but especially today, because this team show a heart today, a will, a belief. The way they run, they work was really good to see.
And with the formation, all the attacking players, I know sometimes we put more store on that than you, but do we see the next step in your evolution as a team, do you think?
No, we want to grow. We want to improve. We want to have solutions. We did things very well during a lot of time, many times. And we can do it really well in another way, as long as we keep the same foundation. And our foundation is, today I think was the reflect of how these players believe in themselves, how they respect each other, how they work as a unit. And we have to keep on going. And today was just another game, special one, because what happened means a lot to us. And we have to keep on going. We're gonna have a very tough challenge next one.
Can you remember a better first half from your team?
Yes, of course, for sure. There were many things that were not okay, but that's what we're gonna work now. We're gonna analyze. We're gonna look the game. We're gonna see things that we have to improve. There were moments that we were balanced, but too much low on the pitch. So it requires adjustments for the players. But we wanna work on that. It's our job.
So is that the model now? Is that the formation, the style,
No,
moving forward, four at the back?
Look, we have to improve. We want to become not so predictable, but we never gonna let go what we have of so good, our foundation, our shape, our identity. That will never go away from us. But we can grow inside of the game, improving our game, having more players involved. That requires other aspects of the game. We have to react better to the loss of the ball. In the end of the game, we were not able to sustain the ball and control the match. There's so many things that we have to work, that we have to improve.
What did you say to the referee at the end?
It's private.
Traore?
It's private.
Fine. I'll leave it there.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
It's probably our best guess. It was to do with Traore, who was booked when he went down in the box for simulation. What was your take on it, Jimmy, with the benefit of a couple of replays?
Yes, I have that luxury here, and that luxury told me that it's a penalty. He steps on his toe, Gabriel, and he can't move, and he goes down, and it's a penalty, unfortunately, fortunately for Arsenal players. But unfortunately for Wolves, if it would have been 1-1, it would have been a big moment, for Wolves. It's a penalty for me.
Just catches him, does he?
He does catch him. It's very harsh to be booked for that. Fortunately, it didn't cost him, but no, he does catch him, and harsh to get a booking. He certainly didn't dive.
He's trying to work out right now where that VAR bar is. It seemed to be moving across this weekend, given what we've seen in terms of the incident.
I think we're all confused with it.
As far as the style of play, again, Patrick didn't get too far trying to work out what the plan is for Wolves moving forward. They go to Anfield next, so will we be seeing Wolves playing this way, 4 at the back, or might they
10 at the back next week?
I have a guess next week they won't be playing 4 at the back. I think they have to respect Liverpool, and I think it will go back to a 3 or a 5. They were absolutely magnificent today, defending, putting their bodies on the line, and they got they got the result that they deserved. They were the much better team. Next week, obviously, is a totally different game against Liverpool. But I think they will change to their back five.
Does that formation tweak matter much, Roy? Or is it about how you go about it?
I think he made a great point, the manager. He did even mention, he says, maybe we've been a little bit predictable.
Yeah.
So I think teams have sussed them out a little bit because they've not been scoring many goals. Whereas tonight, they might have even surprised Arsenal a little bit. You know, we were discussing before the game. They were definitely a bit more attack-minded tonight than what I've seen all season. And just maybe they might bring that to the Liverpool game.
Because what was it you did say previously that you hadn't really enjoyed that much watching Wolves before. No, why was that?
I just felt it was, again, I think maybe because they were so predictable. It was always about teamship, almost obsessed with possession instead of actually, you know, if there's opportunities to pass the ball forward quickly, then do it. And I think he kind of made that point there. He says, you know, they've had a certain way of playing the last few years. They've had great success. It's been tougher this year for him, obviously, and he's had to look at it over the last week or two. That's what management is about. He's made 1 or 2 changes. Obviously, they've gone to 4 at the back, and they definitely looked a bit more attack-minded in the last week or two, and they've got their rewards for it.
They did. They had 4 really attackers on the pitch. Don't get me wrong, they worked really hard without the ball, but they had 4 attacks, and normally that is not the case. They have 3, and then you still miss that extra man in the midfield, don't you, to go forward. Today they looked really, really good and really good going forward.
But for Arsenal, 10 games into the season, that is already 5 defeats on the board. And next we'll hear what Mikel Arteta has made of a 3rd consecutive home loss. Right, time to hear the thoughts of Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager. He's with Patrick Davison.
Well, Mikel, it's a football match that's been marred by a sickening clash of heads right at the start, and I feel like we should start there. Firstly, how is your player? How's David?
David is okay. He has a nasty cut here, and he was conscious. They did all the tests for him. He was completely fine, but he wasn't comfortable playing with that. But obviously, really worried for Jimenez because he looked really nasty.
Did you know straight away, I think like the rest of us, that there was a big problem? It's the sound, the way he landed.
When you see the reaction of the players, that concern, obviously, you know that something bad is happening. We would like to send him our best wishes, our love to him, and probably his family as well, that is suffering, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looks.
You touched on it already, but can you just explain to us, if you can, how you as a club handle something like that, how your medical department handles something like that? Because David goes down, but then he does continue, but then comes off at half-time.
About David, you mean?
Yeah, so how do you handle it with your player?
Well, first of all, the doc all the time has to check. There is a protocol that has to check that he hasn't lost any conscience, which he didn't. They have some tests that they have to do before putting back on the pitch. And then David was just concerned about the cut, nothing else. And they will continue to do some checks, obviously, in the next few hours, but he was fine.
So why did you decide at half-time that he wasn't okay to carry on any further?
Because he was very uncomfortable. He could not really head the ball, and obviously a central defender, I cannot head the ball, cannot continue playing football.
Okay. What about after that then, Mikel? It's insignificant in comparison, but performance, result for your team?
And it's our responsibility to do that.
Up until the start of this month, Mikel, great win at Old Trafford, it looked like progress had been pretty steady, but then it seems to have fallen away dramatically in the last 30 days.
If you look at the results, it's exactly like that. The way we lose football matches at the end is for very small margins. But again, in this league, as it is at the moment, things are not going in our way. So it's not time to feel sorry, it's time to work harder. Everybody to be united, push him the same way, and things will come. And the only way is to work harder and keep doing better what we are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Some difficult questions for Mikel Arteta. Why do you think it's not happening for Arsenal right now, Roy?
I think a lot of the players aren't good enough. I think there's a softness there. I think obviously a few weeks ago all the cheerleaders were out when they had a decent performance up at United. You know, they've had 1 point since then, you know, lost the other 2 games. I think they look soft. They're probably lacking a bit of confidence. I didn't see that real fight that the manager was talking about there. I know it was a difficult interview. When you've been beaten in the game, it's difficult. But I didn't see that desire or determination to get a result. You can have an off night, of course, but you still find a way to get a result. And at this moment in time, I don't see it with this group of players. I think they look a bit soft.
He said he always wants his team to create more chances. Right now, only 2 sides in the Premier League have created fewer chances, Burnley and perhaps surprisingly Leicester, though they've benefited from scoring 7 penalties already, Jimmy.